episode 527 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering, no matter how many beverages you're drinking while you play it.
Ooh, yes.
We, for instance, are a two-person podcasting team with three different three distinct and unique drinks on the table.
Absolutely. At any given time in my home, I have 2 to 3 drinks available for me.
Yeah. Mine, I basically always have what I have right now, which is 1 water, 1 coffee.
1 water, 1 coffee. Yes. I like to have an assortment of 2 energy drinks and 1 LaCroix.
Wow. That's so many bubbles.
If it's not bubbling, I ain't
troubling.
Troubling. I was going to say guzzling, but troubling is even better. That's more of a direct rhyme. I mean, once I discovered that I could drink, a fizzy water, then it was flat water was just out the window for me.
I get it.
It was a strict upgrade.
I'm one of your hosts, Meghan.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria. On today's show, not only will you find out about our beverage selections, but we're going to talk about a whole bunch of new stuff that's happening in Magic.
Yes, there are so many new things coming out. We will also discuss product fatigue. Are you feeling it?
I mean, we've got a list of all of this new stuff that's coming out. It's just like as long as my arm.
Stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
And we want to help you keep it all straight. Like, when's it coming out? Yeah. What is it?
Decide if it's for you.
Is it for you?
Do I need to pay attention when this comes out? Or can I just be like,
delete,
pass, thank you?
Yeah.
We're also going to have a little bit of story time. We're a little behind, so we're still going to talk Brothers War timeline.
But before we dive into all of the fun that's certain to come out of our mouths. Yeah. That's a guarantee. Yes. That's a Good Luck High Five guarantee.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, everybody, who makes this podcast happen every single week by being a Patreon supporter on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Thank you so much to our new patrons. We got a few weeks without new patrons, but we have several to thank this week. Thank you so much to Bradley, to Ryan, to Anne, to Benita, and to Barry. Thank you to each and every one of you. Remember that this episode is yours.
This is your episode.
And now that you are patrons, you have access to our special patron-only Discord, which is also the only place that I've ever posted a meme about Magic that I made.
Wow.
So you can get in on that exclusive content.
Exclusive.
And now that you're in there, you can go say which part of this episode specifically is yours.
Is yours. Yes, and you're free, of course, to tag us in that Discord if you ever want to poke our attention, boop, 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 or ask us a question or whatever. That's totally something that we love.
It's great. Judge Rob hangs around there.
Rob's in
talks
there.
About Commander stuff a lot of the time.
Do you have a judge question?
Yeah. People post great Commander lists. It's just a good time.
And you can be a patron for any dollar amount whatsoever at patreon.com/GLHF Magic. Barry bought an entire year up front for a discount.
What?
Yeah,
you
get a
such
discount.
a good idea.
So if you're like, I know I'm going to be for a year, you can get a sweet discount while you do it.
Sick.
Speaking of Commander stuff, shout out to us.
Wow. Okay.
Just kidding. Shout out to Elder Dragon Hijinks, who had us on for an episode.
Oh my goodness. It's so much fun. Go check it out.
Yes.
We played obviously a full game of Commander with Ely and Olivia.
Yeah, it was great.
We had just a blast. Judge Rob made all 4 decks that we played. And so there's a very special little theme in our episode, which is a lot of fun.
Each deck was the first time any of us had piloted it, and each one adheres to the theme very strictly. And I highly suggest you go check the episode out. It's extremely fun.
Yes.
And Judge Rob did a great job making our decks for us.
I get scolded in it.
Well, yeah.
I get scolded.
I don't think there could possibly be a game of Commander you would play where you would not get scolded.
Wow, are you saying that I have a scoldable play style? How dare you?
I just feel like blue mages are scoldable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just saying if there's a scoldable card, it's Cyclonic Rift.
So check it out, Elder Dragon Hijinks on YouTube. What a fun time. What a fun time. And I know a lot of people are like, play Commander YouTube. Do it.
And so we do. We do. We do. Do I do nearly anything to avoid shuffling my deck again? Yes.
Do I attack? Yes. How does it go? You'll find out.
You'll find out.
So check that out. Also check out our sponsor, Card Kingdom. We love them.
Yes.
You can find them on the interwebs at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Get anything you want for Magic at this website. It's a one-stop shop.
They have so many different things. You can, of course, get all of like the sets that have come out. Phyrexia all will be one. You can pre-order the complete bundle.
Love
There's
that bundle.
Dominaria Remastered, Jumpstart 2022, but also, of course, all of the singles. If you saw some Pioneer decks, maybe at the Pro Tour that you're super excited to take to your FNM,
I did.
Or your local game store. Oh, Maria, was there like a Pioneer deck that did well that you specifically kind of like already? Anyways, so if you, like Maria, were particularly taken with Celestial Auras, you can get all the cards that you need over at cardkingdom.com/GLHF.
It's now time for the randomizers. We hit the random button on scryfall.com. We found cards that we may or may not be familiar with. We're going to show each other the art and see if we can guess what the cards do.
All right, Maria, are you ready?
Yeah.
You're going to love this art.
Let's see it. I do love it. You're correct.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. This is an elf making a potion in a cauldron, in a glorious cauldron, in a forest, and there's a beautiful white light that's coming out of this cauldron. Is this Rebecca Gay?
Do you know what? I was just thinking that. I was like, oh, do we know who this? Yes, it is.
Oh,
it obviously is.
It's a beautiful Rebecca Gay piece.
It is. It is very Rebecca Gay.
Yeah, it's 100% Rebecca Gay. I said elf, but this elf also has like a satyr horn situation.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, the point is, it's a green card. What I'm trying to say is this card is green. This is an enchantment, and the name of the card is Enchantment Druid. Wait, that would be a creature. Dang it. Enchantress's Cauldron.
Okay, great.
And this is a green artifact that did not exist back when this card was made. But stay with me. Stay with me.
Okay.
You can sacrifice creatures to the cauldron to go find as many basic lands and put them into your hand as the creature's mana value.
Wow.
Is that card busted? I don't know.
I have no idea about the quality of that card.
I don't know what kind of card
I'd have to see
made.
it in play.
I think you would play it.
I think so, yes. It definitely sounds like it has a home somewhere.
Some kind of commander ramp situation wants this card.
Yeah. Okay, so it is green-white.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that goes with the white
yes.
stuff coming out of the cauldron.
It is from Shadowmoor. This card's name is Dawnglow Infusion. It is
a
a
way better
sorcery. It is X and then hybrid green-white. You gain X life if green was spent to play Dawnglow Infusion, and X life if white was spent to play it. Do both if green-white was spent.
So life gain spell?
Yeah.
At sorcery speed?
Yeah.
Not playing
That's just... It was a different time, Maria.
It was a different time indeed.
Was a different time.
I'm going to now show you your card, Megan, which is, you could say, the opposite art.
Wow. It is what I can only describe as the opposite art from what we just saw. We are looking at like a very angry minotaur.
Yeah, for sure.
It is so mad.
It's mad.
It is standing against like what looks kind of like a wild like wall scroll like carving or something, right?
Like
it looks
wheel?
like a big dial or wheel,
Yeah.
with like weird carvings around the edge, weird symbols, and it is holding two enormous swords. Like just holding them, looking straight at you, holding crossed swords. It looks like your time is nigh, is what this Minotaur is saying.
That's what it's saying.
This Minotaur is saying you dead.
What's the name of this card?
I'm going to say that this is Deathblade Minotaur.
Oh, that's a great name.
It's going to go real straightforward.
Yeah.
Deathblade Minotaur. This is 2 red black for a 3/3 Minotaur with menace. The end.
Wow, it is a 3/3.
Oh,
Great job. It costs 4 and a red.
Okay.
This card is named Talrum Champion. It is a Minotaur, of course. This is from Visions. All right. First strike. Whenever Talrum Champion blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature loses first strike until end of turn.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
Like, no one shall ever first strike against this first striker.
No, this Minotaur is like, I
most
always
first
have
strikey.
first strike against you.
This is first strike.
Yeah. You
Honestly.
mayest never
Yeah. So
have first strike.
you're pretty close.
Wow.
I'm going to give you the win on that one because
Thank
that's
you.
pretty close.
That's
And you
yeah.
got the power toughness right.
You know, that Minotaur is just so mad.
And I mean, like, don't you agree that these arts were the exact opposite
They are
of
the
each
opposite
other?
arts. If you go look at the arts for Dayglow Infusion and Talrum
Yeah.
Champion, you're going to be like, oh, look at these two opposite artworks.
You never thought that one artwork could be the opposite of another until you saw
But
these.
they are. They are.
Let's talk about all the new in Magic.
Oh my goodness, because there is
So much new.
There is so much new. Maria, what do you want to talk about first?
Okay, I want to talk about what I'm most excited about.
Yes.
Which is the Lord of the Rings set.
I knew it.
Yeah. That's
I
coming
knew
out
it.
this summer, everybody. I'm so excited. They gave us kind of a peek. I'm not going to call it a first look because that is the language they are using for when they officially start their preview of the
Previews,
set.
yeah.
So, we got our first peek, we'll say that, of the Lord of the Rings set. In case you need a little refresher on what this bad boy is, everybody.
This is a big bad boy.
It sure is.
What it is.
It's a full set, okay?
Yes.
It is a real thing. It's not like a tiny little supplemental product. It's a full set that is fully draftable and will be modern legal. And it is the first full set release as part of the Universes Beyond deal.
Yes.
Previously, we've only had Universes Beyond cards show up in like Secret Lair, or, you know, like a couple of like the Transformers cards would be
like a supplement to boosters.
Yeah.
A supplement to a set. But here it is its own thing.
It's its own thing.
And it's going to have pre-release kits, like pre-release packs.
Yeah, you're going to go pre-release for Lord of the Rings.
It is going to have all of the typical kinds of boosters that we now think
Collector
of. Draft
boosties.
set collectors. It's going to have its own commander decks.
Yes.
Which is just
What are the commanders going to be?
ooh, okay. Because we don't know yet, right?
The wizards.
The wizards?
That's my guess.
Okay.
I don't know,
I
though.
think that oh man, I think that that's a really good guess. So you think that there'd be like a Saruman, a Gandalf, a Sauron?
A Radagast.
Oh, right. Everyone playing the Radagast deck is like, I'm just here to hang out. Whatever.
I'm just hanging.
Hey guys. I'm on the good side, but am I doing much?
No, I'm hanging out in the woods with my shrooms. There's going to be commander decks. No, we don't know what they are yet.
Yeah, or it could be like, right, it could be the elves, the dwarves,
Yes, it could.
the orcs.
That's a good point.
And then once again, the Radagast of the creature decks, hobbits.
The hobbits. Yeah.
Hey everyone, what's your deck about? Food tokens?
Oh, definitely food. Oh man, I feel like food tokens have to be in this set.
Right, they have to be in this
They
set.
have to be in this set. Second breakfast. That's going to be a card that makes 2 food tokens.
If it's not, it's going to be the greatest travesty of Magic the Gathering.
I just said that, but then I'm like, how is that not a thing? It's impossible that's not in the set. It's literally impossible calling it now. This set comes out on June 23rd on tabletop, everybody.
Yes.
And it's going to be on Arena too, which I'm very excited about because I wasn't kind of expecting that when they first announced this. But it's going to be on Arena on the 20th of June, and the pre-release is going to be on the 16th. So it's one of those deals where the pre-release happens in the LGS first, then on Arena, then the official tabletop release on the 23rd.
Oh man, it's just pretty cool. I love this like initial art for the Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle Earth is like what the Universes Beyond is called.
It has Frodo reaching out for the ring.
Yeah, but also kind of like a golem like face in
like
flames.
Also Frodo's face.
Exactly. It's so cool.
It's the shadow self.
We know that the set symbol is the One Ring, which is just a great
really
set
cool.
symbol.
It's a very cool set symbol.
Yeah. So that's kind of all that we know right now, right? We've gotten to see some of this early art, like
The
on
packaging?
the boost. Yeah, the packaging art, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, here, this looked like Balrog. Man.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be the Balrog in this set.
Balrog boy.
We're going to get our first look at the set actually coming up very soon, everybody. It's going to be on March 14th.
Wow.
So that is coming up.
That is quite soon.
Any day now. What do you want for sure to see in this set?
Oh my goodness. I want to see
other than the card Second Breakfast, which makes 2 food tokens, we already know
which
that's
is
in the
obviously.
set.
I want to see some cool location cards, right? In some way, like I want to see a Rivendell.
On the
Is that a
lands?
land? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do we get to see a Mordor?
Mordor? Yes, that for sure has to be like the dual lands.
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
You think?
I really hope so. Whatever Saruman's Bad Times place is called.
I think that is what it's called.
Saruman's Bad Times place? Yeah.
Bad time place.
Well, he's a direct man. Says it like it is.
I think there's got to be a card called the Hobbit's Weed or whatever they call it. The Hobbit's Leaf. You've been smoking too much of the Hobbit's Leaf. It has clouded your mind. The Hobbit's Leaf. It's a green card and it's fog. It's just fog.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great one.
Wow. We are creating cards for the set left and right. Stop the presses wherever these are being printed because we have some ideas that need to be added in.
Right. You know that there are the characters who probably must get cards, right? Like Gandalf, Saruman, all of the, like Merry, Pippin.
We've seen Gandalf
Frodo,
in a piece of art they've released.
Yes, Boromir in a piece of art, Aragorn. But are there any characters that you hope get cards? I think Radagast is a really good candidate.
I mean,
that's probably not, but wouldn't it be great?
Wouldn't it be so good?
Wouldn't it be so good? Do you know who better not get a stinking card? Stinking Tom Bombadil.
What is your problem with Tom Bombadil?
I don't know. Whatever, you stupid enigma. Get out of here.
Gosh, I don't. What did I suggest? The Hobbit's Leaf, like a real dingus.
I think that's a great one. As a fog, A+.
Yeah, it would be a great fog, playable fog for the first time.
We need some Ents, right? Some real nice big tree folks.
Yes, that would be so cool. Treebeard, a legendary tree folk. Okay,
that'd be pretty cool. Are there any legendary? There must be a legendary tree folk right now. Is Multani a tree folk?
Multani's got to be legendary for sure.
I mean, but is Multani a tree folk?
Yeah. What?
I don't know. Bark person.
Elemental.
Multani's an elemental, actually.
Okay,
here, let me check.
Yeah, look this up because this would make sense to me.
Typeline, tree folk.
Tree folk.
Okay. Search with these options. All it is tree folk.
How many are there in Magic right now?
Wow.
There's more than 96. 96? Wow.
Yeah.
That's almost a full Commandy deck.
Oh, here we
right
go.
there.
Kolfinor, the Last U. Which is a commander card.
Okay.
3 white, black, green for a 3/7 vigilance reach. Whenever it or another creature you control dies, return up to one other target creature card with lesser toughness from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. Oh yeah, Doran the Siege Tower. We've seen Doran.
Oh yeah.
In the last couple of years.
I recognize that card.
Okay. So yeah, there are some legendary tree folk. It would be really cool to add some more legendary tree folks.
What if we played a trees deck on Elder Dragon Hijinks?
Oh, that would be great. A trees deck.
Somebody for sure has made a trees deck wink wink in Commander, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Why do you say wink wink?
Because trees is a word people use for the Hobbit's Leaf. Right? But I mean an actual trees deck.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay.
Why they're using that euphemism instead of the Hobbit's Leaf, though?
We don't know. We don't know. What
know.
if we did one at EDH with everyone had a creature type and one was trees, one was hounds, one was cats.
That'd be so cute. What's the other?
Birds. That one's
birds
kind of boring, but I don't know what
Sphinxes?
other Sphinx. Is there enough Sphinx in Magic?
There's got to be enough Sphinx in Magic.
Don't you think?
If there's enough Sphinx.
If there's 96 tree folk, how many Sphinx are there?
There's got to be. Okay, do you want to guess how many Sphinx there are?
Well, because there's not baby Sphinx, right? There's only giant 6 mana Sphinx.
That's a great question.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say there's probably 35 Sphinx.
There are 72 Sphinx.
Okay, wow, that's more than I thought.
Let's see. Let's find the cheapest one. There's some that are 4 mana.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a couple that are 4. Let's see if there's anything.
This is the
cheaper than 4.
A beef I have with Magic all the time is I want baby versions of cards, and by that I mean creature type that is normally larger, like a Sphinx, but you can play for Sphinx. Tiny 2 mana, and it does a Sphinx thing.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't think that so far there do not appear to be any.
Okay, so
baby Sphinx, but hold on, I'm continuing to look. Rafine Scheming Seer is a Sphinx. That's a 3 mana Sphinx.
Oh, okay.
She's Sphinx.
All right, we found a 3 mana one.
All right,
fair
but
enough.
That's not a baby.
I didn't know she was a Sphinx.
Let's see.
2 mana is the threshold for baby.
Wow, yeah, you think it must be 2 mana.
Must be 2 mana.
Yeah, there's another 3 mana Sphinx, and that's it.
Okay.
And then everything else is.
What Wizards? What is stopping you from printing a baby Sphinx?
Is there any card in Magic that has a baby Sphinx even on it?
No, not that I know of.
We're really getting to the bottom of some important things.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if you printed a Sphinx that was a 1/3 and it was 2 mana, and when it ET beat, it was flyer, you scry 1. That would be a Sphinx, right? Mm-hmm. And that'd be a perfectly playable card to put in any set. IMO.
Let's see. Come on. Why is there not? Why is there not a page?
What did you search for? What phrases did you type in?
MTG baby Sphinx. What else am I going to search for? I put in what I'm looking for.
That is what we are looking for. True enough.
There does not appear to be a baby Sphinx.
Okay.
Which is truly
travesty.
A travesty.
Yeah, I mean, what I described as a baby Sphinx, 1/3 for 2 mana.
Yeah.
A scry 1, is that too good? It's kind of good.
No, that's a great card.
It's an Omen Speaker, but flying.
I love that. I think Omen Speaker, but flying.
I mean,
solid.
Look, power creep is a thing.
And we know that blue needs some help right now. It has not been great in recent draft sets.
No, it has not.
Help it out. Give us the baby Sphinx we all need and deserve.
All right, so let's look at Lord of the Rings.
Anyway. What are we talking
Cross
about?
that one off the list. Next up, March of the Machine.
Yeah, so we got a lot of looks, a lot of peeks at March of the Machine.
Sure did.
At MagicCon Philly. They had a whole panel.
Yeah.
That was all about peeking.
And so March of the Machine, the pre-release for that is April 14th through the 20th, that weekend. Comes on to Arena on April 18th. Previews start March 29th.
Yeah.
So it is also coming up very quickly on us here.
Yeah, very exciting. We got to see some cool cards. For instance, we saw the new Jin Gitaxias, which will come in this set. We know that there will be double-faced cards.
Yes.
That you can transform by paying a cost.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree. 3 blue for a 5/5 Ward 2, also woof.
Yeah.
Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card.
Excellent.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sick.
3 and a blue, exile Jin Gitaxias, then return it to the battlefield transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you have 7 or more cards in hand.
Yikes.
And then the flip side, this is so sick. The flip side is a saga.
I love that.
This is the saga, The Great Synthesis. 1, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis. 2, return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands. Yes, please.
Yeah.
And 3, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return it to the battlefield front face up. So you get your Jin Gitaxias back.
Like a problem.
This card is just like you just loop it around forever. Like, okay, draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards, draw some cards.
Any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs.
Ooh.
That sounds like a trouble.
Ooh. That sounds so great.
Right here in River City.
I'm so excited.
That card's bonks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Jin Gitaxias is being extremely good.
Yes.
We also saw a card that was a hint at a story moment.
Yeah.
Which with Breach of the Multiverse.
Yeah, this is 5 black for a sorcery. Each player mills 10 cards. For each player, choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. But of course, what we're really talking about here is the name of the card, Breach the Multiverse. So hello. I mean, we knew they coming for everybody, but they really
are.
They really coming for everybody.
The flavor text of this card is all worlds will know perfection, Elish Norn.
I mean, yeah.
So somehow the Norn dog is breaching the worlds.
I'm really upset. I'm really upset by that name.
And sending out Phyrexian vibes to
I just
everywhere.
want to register that I'm not okay with that name for this card.
Well.
Or just like that name in general.
You can't choose your nickname. You're given it.
So we know that we'll see like this invasion across a bunch of planes. For instance, they showed us all of the common dual lands that are going to be in this set.
Yeah.
That are all from different planes that are experiencing the invasion, unfortunately. But we also got to see some cool team ups of, some legends on different planes teaming up to fight the invasion.
Yeah, they're cute.
They're so cute. We've got Yargle and Multani, which is just 3 green for an 18/6.
I love Yargle and Multani.
They're great.
18/6. Get wrecked from one attack.
Yeah, exactly. They big. There's Galta and Mavrin. Also great.
12/12.
Yep, just a nice big 12/12.
3 green, white dinosaur vampire. I love that. Trample. Whenever you attack, choose one. Create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures, which will probably be 12. Create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. This card is extremely good.
And then Thalia and the Gitrog monster, which is just great. Thalia is here riding the Gitrog monster, and he's being big and stompy.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. He's yelling. The Gitrog monster be yelling about this.
This one is also, this is probably the best one they previewed.
I mean, this card is so good.
1 white, black, green, which on the upkeep I called Siege Rhino mana, and Megan was not happy about that.
Like, why would you invoke his name? Why call to him?
I mean, I don't know. It just
why bring him up?
I think it's probably because it's also 4/4.
Just no.
That just made me think of it. You know.
We don't need to talk about. We don't need to talk about him.
First strike, Death Touch. Okay, which as we know is a lethal combination. You can play an additional land on each of your turns. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control come in tapped, and whenever it attacks, sacrifice a creature land, then draw a card.
Wow. Well, you know, and we also saw Chandra Hope's Beacon. This is a new Chandra for 4 red, 5 mana. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. Mm-hmm. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Busto.
+2, add 2 mana in any combination of colors. +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exiled cards. And -X, Chandra Hope's Beacon deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets.
Very good.
Yeah.
When you have a 6 mana Chandra, that seems pretty good. Like, that's where she lives.
Yes.
She lives at that. She just lives for 6 mana.
She's living at that 6 mana. Yeah. Okay. And we still have not yet touched on like everything that we got.
No.
Because there's some other big news that we got about this set from this release.
Yes.
Which is we're going to see some completed old friends.
Yeah.
Or old enemies. Heliod, I'm looking at you, you monster.
Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, 2 white, 4/4. So this is the uncompleted version of Heliod. Yeah. When he enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand, but then you can pay 3 in Phyrexian blue to transform Heliod at sorcery speed into... Flip the card over. Heliod, the Warped Eclipse.
Wild. This is a 4/6. You may cast spells as though they had flash. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card your opponents have drawn this turn. So, wow.
I, again, like the fact that you can just pay the mana whenever you see fit to transform it.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet a weird condition or anything like that. You just pay.
Just be like, here he go.
But the fact that you can complete a god... is like
a
little scary.
Pretty spooky, man.
How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
What about how do you complete an elemental?
I know.
Because Omnath Locus of all be here.
Yeah, he's certainly the locus of all, I'll tell you that.
He is white, blue, black, red, green, but the black is Phyrexian. This is Omnath finally all 5 colors, but at what cost?
Yeah.
But at what cost?
The cost of having a Phyrexian arm now.
Yeah. It's a spooky, gross-looking arm. It's a bad time.
4/4, legendary ob. If you would lose unspent mana, the mana becomes black instead.
Weird.
Okay, that's
creepy.
weird. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana in any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it into your hand.
Wow. Wow.
That unspent mana thing is really weird.
Right? Well, it's in case you don't want to cast that card right away. You can just be like,
I'll hold on to this.
Hold on to this.
Which is interesting because I'm like, when was the last time we cared about unspent mana? Back when mana burn was a thing?
Right. Well, there's cards that like carried over because then, right, it never goes away. So you can, in theory, accumulate a huge amount of mana over a bunch of turns and then cast like a huge... Sun's Twilight of some kind, maybe, or something like that, right? Like a huge X spell.
Wow.
Could be a use of it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm very excited for this set.
It looks dope. I mean, I've got to say, like, these cards are cool. The fact that the Phyrexians can get their little Phyrexian fingers into even a god's hair, like, that's creepy.
I don't want to think about Phyrexian fingers in anyone's hair. Just going to put that out there.
Next time you're getting your haircut, just imagine Phyrexian fingers up in there. Oily.
No.
It just seems very cool and very dire. Like the situation with what was the name of the card? Breach the Multiverse. Like I have speculated like what on earth is going to happen. Yeah. That magic is going to change forever.
Forever.
We got a sneak peek at the set that comes after this, speaking about what's going to happen after.
Yeah, which is March of the Machine, the Aftermath.
Yeah.
We know that this is just 50 cards. So it's a tiny little supplemental set that will come in 5-card boosters.
Weird.
That talks about what happens after, right? It's a bunch of story moments of what happens to all the different characters, whether they live or perhaps like the Kenriths, they die.
The Kenrith's Royal Funeral. In legendary enchantment, 2 white black. When it enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target legendary creature cards from your graveyard. Oh, flavorful. You draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the greatest mana value among cards exiled this way. Legendary spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card exiled with the Kenrith's Royal Funeral.
Wow. So sad.
Sorry, Kenriths. Gosh. Didn't make it. Didn't make it. Well, I guess we'll find out who else didn't make it with March of the Machine.
Yeah. So, Maria, we haven't even touched on all of the stuff that has been sneak peeked.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So we have not touched on everything that has been sneak and peeked.
Yeah,
because there's also Commander Masters.
Yes.
Which is the first Commander Masters set. Like the first Masters set that touches on Commander. It's going to have cards that come out, right? It's going to be draftable, but it's also going to have commander decks that have 10 new commander cards each in them.
Yeah, it's not like other master set where it's only reprints in the commander decks themselves, not in the set, but in the decks. There's 10 new cards each deck. And these are the decks that they had asked, what should we make? They kind of polled people, and these were the 4. So they're really, I think they're very cool.
Yes.
There's Enduring Enchantments, which is white, black, green, which I'm obviously interested in. Planeswalker Party, white, red, blue. Sliver Swarm, which is Wooburg. I think that sounds very cool. And Eldrazi Unbound, which is colorless.
Also very cool.
Which is, I'm just
so
like,
exciting.
I don't know. I normally, we're not huge commander players, so it's like commander product doesn't really spark my interest. But these 4 sound so interesting that I'm like, we got to play them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. That one we're getting our first look at on May 16th, and it comes out on August 4th.
Yeah. So that is... Like, to be real, that is not too long after, right? We have a lot of stacked things coming up. We have March of the Machine, Aftermath, which to be fair doesn't really, it feels kind of like a tack on, right? Yeah. It's like add on to March of the Machine. And then we are going to have
Lord of the Rings.
And then we're going to have Commander Masters.
Yep.
People talked a lot at the end of last year about product fatigue.
Yes.
Which is very fair. And to be fair on the other side of it, a lot of that came from like the Warhammer and Unfinity sets came out the same weekend, and Unfinity was supposed to be months earlier.
Well, there was a ship that was blocking a canal somewhere, if you remember.
Right, there was a whole bunch of stuff that ended up pushing all of these product releases. So a lot of stuff kind of got clustered at the end of the year, and people were like, this is too much.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this set of like looking at these 3 or 4 things in front of us now?
Well, we didn't even mention 2 other things.
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there. There's Alchemy Phyrexia.
Yep.
That's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Today, whatever. Innistrad Remastered is also coming to Arena.
Which are both going to be Arena only.
Yes, Arena only stuff. So I just want to throw those into the mix too. So you and I, would you argue, are entrenched in the game?
Yes. I play a lot of Magic.
What entrenchment level would you say we are versus the normal human being?
Wow. Okay. Well, I think that you and I are at different levels.
Okay. Whoa, there you go.
I think that you are slightly, you're in a slightly more, they like you more. And they like me less. I think I spend slightly less money on the game than you do.
Okay, yeah. So for sure, I'm like definitely like a magic whale kind of person. Yeah. Not the whaliest of whales.
Yeah, you're not like the biggest, but I will buy barely any supplemental product.
Yes.
I got the kitties.
Yeah, show me the kitties.
Show me the kitties at MagicCon Philly, and that is my first secret lair I have ever purchased.
Yeah, and I've bought maybe 6 secret lairs or something.
Yeah. Which again isn't a ton.
No,
but it is still the difference, right? That was the first one that I've ever purchased.
Right.
So yeah, I am in the bracket of like, I would prefer to be able to play all of the regular sets coming out. But that is my threshold.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, depending on how these fall, will I make it to everything? Like, will I make it both to a Lord of the Rings event and a Commander Masters event? I'm not sure. I'm going to have to kind of feel out how close those two things are together. Like, will I kind of feel burnt out and be like, I don't want to go to a Commander Masters thing. Like, I just went to this other big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But also at the same time, maybe I'll be ready for it. Maybe I'll be excited.
It's the reason I bring up these Alchemy sets and Innistrad Remastered, which is pushing Pioneer towards closer to becoming full and complete on Arena, is because and why I brought up the fact that we're pretty entrenched players. Obviously, we've had a podcast about Magic for 10 years.
We're marginally interested in the game.
Which is, I bring that up because even that fact being true, a lot of this stuff, like on the upkeep, I had to refresh myself when I was thinking about it because there's so many details about each thing. I'm like, wait, what did we know? What have we just learned? When does it come out? Yeah. And if we have to keep that straight in our brains and we're the people who are telling the people about it, that says to me that there is way, way, way too much for any normal person to keep track of. Yes. Now, is that a bad thing? I can't answer that question. I can only answer it personally. And that, to me, is the alchemy stuff. I'm beginning to be on the side of like that. I think might go away.
Let it go.
I heard about it and I was like, I just can't care.
Yeah.
Not even that I don't care, that I can't.
Push us towards Pioneer. I like that. Like, let's have Pioneer. I like Explorer. I like playing Explorer. You can get an Explorer match on Arena very quickly. Let's keep pushing that. I don't want to play. I even have an alchemy deck that I discovered that I love.
Yeah.
But I still don't care. Like, you have to wait so long in the queue because nobody plays it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sad about saying that because I think it's really cool that we play in this space. Like Seeking cards, for instance, it's just an upgrade.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Spellbook stuff is very cool.
Yeah.
But like the problem is like not enough people play it. Yeah. People are overwhelmed. And I just feel like
if you look at the roster of stuff that they're making and you're like, hey, is there too much stuff? It feels like across a lot of people's spectrums, the answer is yes. And if you're looking for an easy thing to cut, I'm just saying that it is the most obvious and easiest thing to cut.
You could make the argument if you're Wizards of the Coast that you're like, well, not everything is for every player. Of course, we know that. And some people, but I don't think that is true of a product like Alchemy.
Yeah.
Because in order to play and like Alchemy, you are already invested enough to be an arena player, which is a bigger investment than a casual tabletop paper player, right?
Yeah.
So you're already using arena. You're already like playing whatever you're playing on arena. I just don't think that casual alchemy nature fits in with the people who are using the product.
You can say not every product is for everyone, right? Like that's very true of not every set of pre-con commander decks is going to be for everybody. Not every kind of special or secret layer is going to be for everyone. Not every kind of like special card treatment is going to be for everyone. But a format does need to be for a lot of people because the only way that there's enough people to play a format is if it's for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you can say it's not for everyone about product, but you can't say it's not for everyone about a format because if it's not for enough people, there's not going to be enough people to play it.
Yeah, so I'm fine with these paper releases. It is a lot.
Yeah.
And it's too much to even keep in my brain.
Yeah.
But I'm still fine with it. But when it comes to this extra online stuff, it's too complicated for me, my taste. And I think that would be the general overriding principle. So my prediction is next year, will we have Alchemy? I don't know.
We'll see. We will certainly, that's certainly a TBC.
If only they had an abbreviation for that.
If only.
But they don't. So we have to say TBC.
TBC. All right, Maria.
Yes.
It is time for a little bit more Brothers War story.
Where are we in the Brothers War story?
Okay, so the last time that we talked, remember, this is the one that jumps around in time a little bit. We were talking about Caleb and Krug trying to save Pendragon in the aftermath of Urza and Mishra's war, which essentially is pushing this plane that they're on very slowly into, like, I think a nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Right? And so we see her, Tanos comes and tries to create the peacetime automatons, but they realize that that they can't have any automatons eventually.
And there's all these people that are anti-automaton trying to take all of them down.
And so eventually, like, there's no more automatons. Everyone has to leave Pendragon and goes farther inland.
Yes.
We had like the little bit of the last warlord of Krug, who is the one who went crazy
and he saw
Teferi, who's we now know that Teferi, right, is trying to dip back in time and find stuff.
Yeah.
So we, in this episode, and honestly, you don't really need to know all of that because these episodes move around in time. So this episode 3 of the Brothers War story, takes place in 28 AR, which is Argivian Reckoning.
Yes.
And this takes us back to when the Urza and Mishra's war is starting.
Oh, okay.
So in this instance, we are now in the city of Krug on the day of its fall, right?
Oh, the fall of Krug.
On the day that Krug is falling. We are seeing a couple of, they were used to be cadets, and the only reason why they are now full pilots of war machines is because Mishra's forces are attacking the city of Krug, and they're like, all right, you 5 kids, you're called on up.
Guess what? You got a promotion.
Exactly. Right. And they're now piloting these like sleek new wartime automatons.
Wow.
These 5 kids. And
one for
Sandwell,
each color of mana.
Sandwell is like kind of our main character of this. He's very nervous. His brother works with ornithopters, and he's really just hoping that he's already been evacuated from Krug. And he's like, okay, the city is falling. Mishra has these dragon engines, right?
Yeah.
We have the Phylagi dragon engines that are absolutely just annihilating the city. As you can imagine, something called a dragon engine can do a heck of a lot of damage.
That sounds right.
It's a bad time. Sandwell is very nervous. He barfs.
Oh, Sandwell.
Sympathy, Sandwell. So these 5 new recruits, or newly inducted pilots.
Yeah.
We see Tanos even handing over the reins to them, being like, "You're our hope. Like, go take down those dragon engines with these automatons if you can."
Kneeling down, you're our only hope.
Basically. And so they go out into the city of Krug, and the rest of the story is basically like wartime is bad, everyone. And wartime is a bad time.
Yeah.
Right? They like find a courtyard in the city where some of their Yoshin troops are trying to hold off the advances of Mishra's troops. And a dragon engine just comes and freaking annihilates them. Just like burns them all to a crisp. And Sandwell and 2 of the other people are only saved because they had started to go down an alley to try and get the dragon engine. And they just turn around and like right the alley behind them or the courtyard that they just went from, where like their other 2 pilots were and their lieutenant was and everything, gone. War is a bad time is the story.
Yeah.
Is this story.
And we'll make a nuclear winter in this case.
Exactly. And we'll eventually make a nuclear winter. So they run to like another little fortified courtyard area, and they have their 3 automatons, and like this set of Phylagi troops is marching towards them.
Yeah.
And so they use their automatons to try and fight them, right? And it's a big battle. And Sandwell is also, right, he's panicking. He's just kind of giving his automaton the instructions to be like, kill these soldiers. And we also have this moment where he's kind of horrified looking at this automaton being like, I have not given it specific instruction on what to do or how to fight these people. I just said kill these soldiers, and it is doing it with brutal efficiency.
Wow.
So we see a little bit, right, of like that terror that these machines caused, and the fact that Tanos later on wanted to make peacetime ones, and we see that these first ones, they're literally named like Sword 1 and Sword 2 are like these automatons' names.
That's too cute.
I know
what's happening.
But we see, right, that the original iterations were just war. Like, that's it. Sandwell is like, someone, like, this machine has been programmed to take my basic instruction of fight these people that I think are the bad guys and uses it to just, like, absolutely bloodily, like, tear them to pieces.
Yeah.
And it is kind of horrifying. And finally, the Phylagi troops, like, take down one of the automatons, get the other one, and he and the other 2 remaining pilots try to run, but are badly injured. One of them gets killed, and the other 2 are like, hey, we were told that there's a city, like, way out, like, out by the harbor. We need to try to run to it. We just need to try to evacuate. And so Sandwell is like, hey, Sword 1, kill these troops, and then they run. He and the other pilot run
So
away.
was he inside operating it like a suit?
No, they have like a command rod that they use essentially.
Oh, like a remote control.
Yes, it's essentially like a fancy remote control that they like talk to it, and they also use it to direct it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what he uses, and he sees like, the hulking remains of his automaton like rising up and fighting the remaining Phylagi as he and this other pilot try to run away, and he is horrified. War is a bad time.
War is a bad time.
Big takeaway from this story.
More at 11.
Exactly. And then we switch perspectives to one of the Phylagi soldiers.
Yeah.
Who was marching, and he like comes to and realizes he's been hit by like 3 different like arrow bolts or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
He passes out again and wakes up at night in the same kind of courtyard area where this battle was, and sees what he sees a glowing blue figure like kneeling at by different soldiers, and he's like, that's death. I'm looking at death right now. Death is
and
coming.
And it was Teferi?
Death is coming through this courtyard. And Eamon, this Phylagi that we're with, like looks, and Death like walks towards where he's standing and looks around and says, not yet.
Let's slow things down.
Let's slow things down. I wish. Death says, not yet. Right? And he looks around and says, we're too early. We're years away, decades at least. It doesn't happen here. And Eamon thinks that that's about him.
Oh.
And Death just disappears. And obviously, we know now it was Teferi, but Eamon is like, it was Death. And 2 weeks later, we see him walking out of like, the first aid or like the medic tent at the war camp, having finally recovered from his 3 arrow wounds.
I'm not going to die for another 2 decades. I'm invincible.
Death told me not yet. That's the story.
Wow.
War is a bad time.
That sounds like a very good story.
Yeah. So we're seeing these times that Teferi is like dipping into.
When Teferi's like, I gotta dip out, you don't know where they're going to dip into.
No, next.
Literally time. It could be a different time.
Any time at all.
Wow. Okay, how many chapters are left of our Brothers' War?
2 more.
2 more?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
Where will we see Teferi next?
Hopefully spooking me in the middle of the night.
Yeah. I've just really enjoyed the way that this story has played out.
It sounded very good.
It's in general been really cool to see, rather than them trying to be like, let's try and do 5 stories that are the whole enormous arc of what happened back in the Brothers' War.
Yeah.
Let's dip into these like important moments, right? We see Caleb and Krug and Pendragon trying to recover and failing because of a nuclear winter that's coming. We see the way that some of the interior lands have changed with the rise of the warlord of Krug. We go back and we see way at the beginning of the war when Mishra and his dragon engines are attacking Krug and it falls. It's cool. So that's my pitch.
Hashtag it's cool.
Hashtag it's cool.
Everyone, thank you so much once again for spending your precious time with us here on Good Luck High Five. We're so appreciative of everyone who helps make our show happen at patreon.com/GLHFmagic.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you again so much to our sponsors.
Yes, Card Kingdom. You're so cool. You can visit them at cardkingdom.com/GLHF to get whatever you need for your magical life. Cool, shiny singles. That's what I'm always there for. You can even sell your cool, shiny singles. Card Kingdom will help you out.
Thank you again to all of our new patrons, to Bradley, Ryan, Anne, Benita, and Barry.
Yay! Thank you.
Remember to head on over to the Discord and claim whichever specific part of this episode is yours.
You can become our new friend on patreon.com/GLHFmagic whenever you want, and we'll dedicate our next episode to you. And you can join our awesome family over on Discord, which is really a great, great time. A lot of new magic stuff coming down the pipe.
Woof.
Obviously, we talked about it this week. How do you
did.
feel about everything in magic?
Yeah.
You can let us know in that Discord, or you can tweet at us at GLHF Magic.
Yeah. Always let us know down in the YouTube comments.
Yes.
Whatever's right for you.
We'd love to hear from you. We like having a dialogue, even though we were just talking at you. But after the show, you can talk at us.
It's like it's a conversation, but it's only done in really big chunks.
It's like a conversation out of time.
Wow.
Like Teferi would be into this. Teferi would understand and enjoy this. Let's slow things down. What would you do if you heard that in the middle of the night?
if you wake up out of a dead sleep and just hear a voice
let's slow things
out of nowhere
down.
saying, let's slow things down, I would absolutely freak out. I would run around my apartment
Big time.
being like, where,
Big time.
where, who did it? Where are you?
No, the real question, when did it?
When did it?